0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello everybody, welcome back to A Sweet Journey. I am Sonia, also known as Sweets, and we are going on a trip to Vancouver. Very, very excited. I had to come down and get my office my computer from the office, get my notebook, and make sure that I have everything that I need, and then get to packing because we'll be there for a week. And just trying to get my stuff together. So if you know, you know, I love to pack with comfort in mind. And so these 5 pants are the most comfortable pants I own. 2 leggings, a couple of pair of barrel pants. This is a pair of cargos. And so I am trying on literally for comfortability. Just want to make sure that 1 pair of shoes is all that I took on this trip. So I needed that 1 pair of comfortable shoes to work with those 5 pair of comfortable pants. And then I just had to find tops to go with them. So that is critical when it comes to packing for any trip, in my opinion. When I got there, I decided to work in the office and then take my team to dinner, which was really, really nice. I do leadership development, and so the trip was really about connecting with leaders. I was doing an activity with them, and so that was day 2. And then we went to an escape room, which I love. This is day 3, and every morning I start off and I bring you all along with me and I record. Those recordings have disappeared. I don't know where they are. And so, hi, I'm in Vancouver. I don't know what happened, but here we are. I am ready for the day. Today I'm kind of casual because after work, I noticed yesterday the event that we had, we didn't have time to go back to the hotel room. Although I'm staying in this like apartment, kind of like almost like a studio, apartment connected to the company. And one thing that I did show yesterday, but again, it didn't record. This is it. It's so cute. Kitchen. I went to the grocery store, recorded my groceries. Don't know where that is. Don't know if this is going to save either. So here we are. But where I am, let's see if I can flip it around. This is this is the apartment that I'm in. The building right there is where I'm going. And that little bridge, that little walkway is what I'm walking on. So we'll see if it records or not. Yeah, this is the little apartment. You see I have a robe. This is the bedroom. I tried to make up the bed, but I am running late, so I gotta go. This is my outfit for the day. Let's go. At the airport in Vancouver, Canada. I am headed home. I thought I would jump on and just talk a little bit about like what's been going on. Maybe moisturize my lips because they're very, very dry. And just kind of catch you all up on this particular trip. So, okay. All right. I have my trays in. I always feel like I have to say it because I always feel like those rubber bands feel weird, and so I always feel like I have to say it. I board my plane in about 45 minutes, and so I'm gonna just take a minute to talk through some of the things. I had a desire to record quite a bit while I was traveling, and I wasn't able to. And I think what was happening is several things. One, I arrived here on Monday. Today's Friday, of course. I arrived here on Monday, and I was really tired. And I don't know. I think that there were things that I could have done to better prepare physically for the trip, but I didn't. And so there's something around I was just really tired. So that's the one thing. Second thing is I've been doing really well with not eating gluten, not doing potatoes. I've been doing really, really good with that. But when I'm on a trip, sometimes that's a little bit difficult. We went to this one restaurant, and hopefully, if I have any images, I'll share. We went to this restaurant, and it was like, I don't know, it felt like 10 courses. It was a place where they just kind of bring out, family style, they just kind of bring out the food. And it started with, the first thing that came out was, beef. It was tuna tartare and some beef, something that I think the beef was raw. I took a bite and was like, oh, absolutely not. First, I don't even eat beef. Then I'm eating raw beef. Who am I? What have I become? So that's the beginning of it. And then the next thing that came out was pasta, rigatoni, I think, something like that. And they brought one that was a jalapeno and red sauce, and one was a white sauce. And so that was wonderful. It was delicious. I shouldn't have been eating it. Oh, it started with bread. Okay, clearly it's an Italian restaurant. That bread at the beginning was life-changing. It was so good. It was so soft. I avoided it for the first... my phone came unplugged. Give me a second. I avoided it when they set the first one out, but they came and set another one out, in front of me. I was like, this is a setup. Anyway, so the second one that they set out, I did have a piece. So after the pasta, just when you think maybe dessert is coming, they brought some beef something, maybe rib. No, they weren't ribs. I don't know what it was, but it was some kind of beef cut in slices, almost like brisket, and fries. This big, old, beautiful order of fries, but it was fries with this. We kept saying it was a drizzle or a storm of cheese, but it had cheese all on it. That was my demise. That was the choice that I made that night. And then I ended up having a sangria or something crazy, which I didn't even need that. It wasn't even good. However, that trifecta, potatoes, bread, and that sangria, since that time, I have been in a lot of pain. When I wake up in the morning, I am having a hard time walking. So anyway, that's that. And that's not good. And it was avoidable. And so, anyway, so I think the biggest learning for this trip, and if you are planning a trip and you're trying to remain disciplined with your commitments, the one thing that I would recommend is that you kind of try to prepare as much as possible. I was in it was like a studio apartment, like a 1-bedroom studio apartment. And I was able to go to the grocery store and buy things. That was game changing. I was so glad I was able to do that. So I was able to go get some groceries. I got fruit. I got a mixed bowl of fruit. I got bananas and berries.
I also got egg whites. I didn't choose to make egg whites because the mornings it was difficult for me to get up and get started. And so I just didn't have time to make breakfast. And so as a result of that, I ended up giving that away to somebody at work. Yeah, but it was still okay. But I think my intention was to try to create a space where I could eat the things that I wanted to eat and not the things that were available. Because the snacks that were available were all chocolate and all that. So anyway, I think what I would recommend is if you can, get some things that you can have in your backpack. If you can have things that would help you like not eat just the random, usually it's like potato chips, chocolates, things, because at work events they want to kind of keep you upbeat and such, and so they're providing snacks that kind of give you a little bit of energy. Just FYI. Yeah, and so had a good time. We did a couple of events after work, and I really did have a very, very challenging physical time. I had a hard time walking. My legs felt really, really weak. Like I would stand up, like throughout the night, go to the restroom, or when I got up in the morning, and it would take me a minute. I'd have to like get my balance because I'd be like wobbly. My legs felt like toothpicks, and so I had to like actually just balance myself, get strength in my legs, and then slow move it to the bathroom. I say it on a lot of videos, but just in case this is your first video, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and so I know better. So those are choices that I made that, you know, I should have made better choices. So anyway, I own that. Let's see. Overall, I think it was a good trip. I think the last thing that I do want to talk about, a lot of times lately I've been talking about mental health, and I talk about it in context of like the day-to-day. Well, if you take the things that I've been talking about on a day-to-day, and if this is your first time here, there are some videos that you might be able to watch. It shows a little bit about like how I've been navigating mental health, mental, spiritual, emotional, physical health. But imagine taking it on the road, and imagine finding yourself around leaders. I facilitate learning. That's my role, and my physical health impacted my emotional and mental health quite a bit. I also think that there's something hormonal that's happening. I have an appointment with my gynecologist next week, I think, or the week after, just to look at my hormones because I am in menopause. And that brain fog that people talk about, I think I experienced that. I don't know, but I'll say what I experienced, and I don't know what it is attributed to, but I experienced like deep, deep sadness. And there came a point, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was sitting in the room and I was crying, and I was just really sad, and I could not pinpoint why I was sad. And I ended up praying. I prayed, and then I was like, listen, and I was brushing my teeth. After I prayed, I went in the bathroom and I went to brush my teeth, and I looked myself in the face in the mirror and I said, hey, you are not sad. Because I wasn't. I was trying to figure out why I was sad. And if I'm trying to figure out why I'm sad, then hi, I'm not sad. And I am a major energy person. Like I pick up on, different things like people's stuff, often. I'm like a sponge. And I just started praying for whoever I had encountered who was experiencing deep sadness. I just prayed for them. Like, God, give them some peace. Give them what they need, and as soon as I did that, and I went and laid in the bed, and I listened to my Bible app, and I listened to Ephesians 6. And it was perfect. I'm going to read it just because I think it's perfect. It was perfect for that moment. It was perfect for like where my head was. And for me, I'm like, if I'm sad, I just want to name that I'm sad. But if I'm not sad and I'm feeling heavy emotions, I want to name like that's not mine, So Ephesians 6:1, it starts with like children obey your parents. And it goes like honor your father and mother. So I need to call my dad. I need to get off so I can call my dad. I have about 30 minutes left before we board. And And it tells like fathers don't provoke your children, bring them up and train them in the admonition of the Lord. But then it goes on and it says in verse, this is a shame. This is a shame. Hello. Oh, hi. Oh, look at the clarity in that camera with my glasses on. Oh, here we are. But in verse 10, it says, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. Therefore take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all of the fiery darts of the wicked one. And take the darts of the wicked one. That is like that, like to me, a dart that actually had made impact, which is a dart that said I was sad and I wasn't. That is like the ability to, and it's the shield of faith. Believing that if I pray, it's going to happen. Believing if I say, Lord, I look in the mirror and I'm like, that's not, son, you're not sad. I believe that God will align with that. And so that's exactly what happened. Anyway, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. And then he says, and for me that utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. So to me, that is just like after I had prayed, after I had looked at myself and just claimed like, hey, the sadness thing, you're not even sad. You're trying to figure out what you're sad about. And then I went and I listened to that scripture. I prayed before I went to sleep. I was up a little bit late because I had, I just couldn't shut it down. But I wasn't up sad. I was actually laughing because I was watching some social media because I've been busy all week. So I was watching some social media and I was cracking up. Anyway, so I just wanted to name that because I think that's important. And I think there was another thing that came up as I was the day before, I think it was like Wednesday. I was encountering some really suspicious kind of behavior, like some real mean girl kind of behavior. One of the things that I quickly came, and this again, this is like taking care of yourself holistically. So not just minding like your mind, your emotions, but your spirit as well, because I ended up praying about that as well. And one of the things that became very clear to me is these people are intimidated. They also have imposter syndrome. It just looks different. And so when they're like behaving that way, sometimes they're behaving that way because it's like they're like I don't know if it's intimidated, but anxious, or they're dealing with some stuff too. And so yeah, so I was able to pray for them too. And that's been my trip. So I did a whole bunch of work stuff, but the important things I think would be that. And so hopefully that was helpful to you. I think that somebody's watching me right now, so I'm going to close out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.